All right, let's do this. What is up, everyone? So I know everyone has probably subscribed to my channel because I do DJ mixes, but I want to just make some, normal content, see how it works out on the account, and just do whatever I want. It's my YouTube channel. I can record whatever the fuck I want. Fuck you. And also, my DJ mixes take a while. I usually take like months to practice my mixes and find songs that I want to use. So in the meantime, y'all are going to get some short form content like this. And I had this idea in my head that I really wanted to record. So I'm going to do it for you guys. And I know my microphone probably sounds like shit. I'm at my boyfriend's house. I'm not slugging over my large ass microphone to record a video. So just enjoy the Turtle Beach headphone microphone quality. Anyways, for today's video, I had the genius, impeccable idea to rank celebrity downfalls of 2024. I've had this idea in my head for a little bit because truly there has been a lot of celebrities that have fallen off or have gotten canceled, and it's just been a big year of controversies, and I thought we should just rank all of them how I see fit. Now, there are some restrictions to certain celebrities, the first one being I did not put every single celebrity that sided with Israel, because if I did that, we'd be here all fucking day. However, I put at least 3 exceptions to this rule that I felt like were most deserved to talk about, and we'll talk about those later on. I also didn't include homewrecker allegations, so things with like Ariana Grande and Corey Taylor, the lead singer of Slipknot, I just didn't include because, kind of a hot take here, there's no such thing as a homewrecker. I know a lot of people might disagree with me on that, but it's the responsibility of the cheater to not cheat on their partner, and it's also the responsibility of said person that they're cheating on to not hook up with married people. So technically both people are in the wrong, and it honestly just seems like a personal matter that they should just work out in private. I think the only exception to this rule is Zach Bryan, who I have on this list, and that's only because I've heard that it's quite a shitty situation, but we'll get into that soon once we rank all of them. And other than that, I can't really think of any other celebrities. I'm mainly trying to stick to controversies that were big in 2024. And oh, I also didn't include influencers either, because if we include influencers, we'd be here all fucking day. There are a couple here that I wanted to include that sort of do break through the celebrity sphere, but like, people like Brooke Schofield or Nikocado Avocado, I didn't include because I'm just going to say it didn't seem relevant to this situation. Like Brooke Schofield, I could probably put on this list, but she didn't necessarily have a downfall. She just got kicked off of Tana Mojo's podcast for like a couple weeks, and then she was brought back on. So, oh, excuse me, is that really a downfall? Or is that just taking a break because you had a bit of controversy? Which, by the way, sorry if I burp a little bit. I had like 3 cups of coffee and I'm dealing with some indigestion and I don't have my Tums. So, fuck it. Also, like I said before, I've never recorded with OBS, so just ignore all of my fucking bookmarks at the top. I'm going to try my best to edit it, but I want you guys to keep in mind I haven't edited videos in so long. I started editing with CapCut and I'm now recording with OBS. The last time I ever made like video screen recording and stuff, I was using Fraps and Sony Vegas, and I probably will rebuy Sony Vegas at one point because it's the editing software I'm most familiar with. So if this ends up like shit, I'm sorry, I tried my best. Without further ado though, let's get into the controversies. Obviously, if you've ever seen a tier list before, they're ranked from least controversial, which would be D, and most controversial, which would be its own separate category here called Rotten Jail Bitch. But I think you could figure out who is going to be doing the rotting the most in jail. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to do this. I am going to do this in order of where the images appear. So first off, we have Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider hasn't had the greatest few years, but I feel like with the documentary that came out on Nickelodeon, his descent from grace has fallen even further than he has before. And I feel like with everything that has come in with the documentary about the child actors that have grown up that were afraid to literally say to him that they had a problem with certain things being done on certain Nickelodeon shows, just proves that he's like the biggest like asshole who worked there. Not the biggest pervert, but definitely the biggest asshole of Nickelodeon. On top of that, he also did like I don't want to say an apology video, but he did this weird, like, sappy, like, addressing the allegations video with the guy from iCarly that sold bagels on a stick. I want to see if I can actually find that video really quick because it's just it's a really bad video. I don't want the reaction. Oh my god. Fucking YouTube. My computer's slowing down. I don't know about that, Dan. I don't know. I don't know about that. You know what? I'm gonna put you. I don't know who the fuck you are. I'm hanging up on you. I'm gonna put Dan in the S tier. Oh shit. Because he's definitely. I don't think he's ever going to get work from this again. He's definitely like this has ruined his career completely, and I don't think he'll ever recover from it ever. So yeah, S tier, I feel perfectly fine putting him. Next up, we got Drizzy himself, Drake. So I'm not too familiar with the whole Drake and Kendrick drama. I know Drake couldn't keep his mouth fucking quiet, and ended up involving Kendrick in his fucking drama. And then Kendrick said, don't put my name in your fucking mouth." And then he dropped a fucking diss track on Kendrick, and then Kendrick not only obliterated him once, but he obliterated him twice, calling him a pedophile in the second diss track that he made about him. But I think the most brutal thing that he did was the first diss track he released, where he just talked shit about Drake's family the entire time. I don't think Drake will recover from this controversy. Oh my god, I can't fucking speak to save my life. But he definitely has a lot of loyal fans that are going to look past this and completely forget about it. And also, I remember seeing Drake on a live stream with XQC on Twitch, which is already like a fucking nail in the coffin for your career. I'll put you in A tier though. Like he could definitely recover from the shit that happened, but it definitely like left a stain on his reputation. P Diddy. Obviously you guys can tell I have a category here called Rotten Jail. We're just gonna place him right there. If you know, you fucking know. Next up we have JoJo Siwa. Now JoJo is honestly, she's been kind of a joke this year. People haven't been taking her seriously. She's trying to rebrand as like a more adult artist. She's been caught lying that she's saying that she writes her own songs, but then it ends up being revealed that she bought the rights to other people's unreleased songs. Most of you know about the song Karma by Britt Smith. She essentially bought the rights to that because that song was supposed to be on Miley Cyrus's album, and she took it and claimed it as her own. But I can't find any clips of her saying that she wrote the song, but I do remember her saying it. Like, I definitely remember her obviously saying that she wrote the song, but I can't find any clips of it anywhere. One of her bigger problems this year was her starting her own TV show that's Dance Moms inspired. It was supposed to be the more friendlier version of Dance Moms, but she essentially did the same amount of abuse that Abby Lee Miller did to her, and that also kind of stained her reputation, just like everybody else on this list. However, I do feel like JoJo does have a fan base that people will come back to and appreciate, and she does have her loyal fans that think that she is the queen of gay pop. Meanwhile, let's ignore all the other celebrities like Freddie Mercury and Dorian Electra, who I feel like she's trying to rip off, even though if you brought that up to her, she'd be like, I don't know who that is. So, you know what? I'm gonna put her in B. Like I said before, I feel very neutral about how badly her career was ruined. Next up, we have Ethan Klein. Now, remember the rule that I said about how I didn't want to include celebrities that sided with Israel during the whole Israel versus Palestine war situation? This is one of the exceptions because he cannot fucking shut his mouth. He will constantly open up his fucking mouth about this shit and act like he is in the right about it. And it's really like ruining his career. And what sucks is Ethan used to be one of the biggest goats of YouTube. He was one of the first people to successfully win a lawsuit when it came to like copyright infringement. And a lot of people really looked up to him because of that. And he's just completely fallen from grace ever since then. He's completely alienated the fan base that he originally had, which I don't blame him for doing because the commentary channel was full of a lot of people who were outright racist, and iDubbbz also did that, but I wouldn't consider iDubbbz to fall off. Like, he definitely is still trying to consistently pursue his YouTube career, Ethan just keeps ruining his career more and more every time he opens up his mouth. And I don't know if he even has any fans left. Even the people that he works with on his podcast are just like embarrassed to be like, they seem embarrassed to be around him anytime he opens up his mouth. So therefore, I'm going to put him in A with Drake because I feel like no one, like, he will not be able to get a redemption arc from this, unfortunately. I feel like so many people look at him now and just see him as a joke. Like, and that's unfortunate because I did love like H3H3's content. I thought he was really funny and entertaining and creative, and he's just completely fallen from grace. Now he just does a podcast and interviews random celebrities and not even celebrities. He just interviews random influencers. It's kind of depressing, actually. Next up, we have Beyonce. I kind of put this on here as a fucking joke because I feel like most people are kind of sick of her ass, and she also released a country album that I have seen nobody talk about. So I feel like that also kind of ruined her career slightly. Obviously, Beyonce does have her loyal fans that are completely obsessed with her and probably did listen to that country album. But I feel like it's been a meme to kind of hate on her and make jokes about how she's secretly trying to assassinate people who don't thank her at award ceremonies. So, you know what? I'm going to put her in C. Like, I don't think she's completely destroyed her career, but this year definitely wasn't it for her, if you get what I mean. Hold on, I'm going to take a sip of coffee really quick. Well, that's hot. All right, next we got Ice Spice. I honestly don't have a lot to say about Ice Spice. She got caught talking shit on live stream. Cleopatra clapped back, and then Baby Storm clapped back at her after. Which, like, if Baby Storm is clapping back at you, and a lot of people are siding with her, you're definitely in the wrong somewhat. But on top of that, a lot of people are just kind of sick of Ice Spice's music. A lot of people are not taking her seriously because she keeps calling herself Miss Poopy, which, like, I'm not even going to shame her for it because there's a lot of rappers that also use, like, the shit allegory when it comes to their lyrics, like Nicki Minaj, who's also on this list. She made that one song where she's like, bitch, if you ain't shit and then get off the potty. Like, it's something that has existed in rap music. But a lot of people just kind of got sick with her, especially since she doesn't have her own contained fan base. Her fan base just exists from other popular artists like Nicki Minaj, like Drake, who's on this list, and also Taylor Swift, who everyone is already sick of at this point, which I didn't put her on this list, but she hasn't fallen from grace either, so I had no need to put her on here at all. So Ice Spice, I feel like she's on the same level as JoJo Siwa. Like, she could definitely bounce back from this year, but she definitely put a stain on her career that I don't know if she'll be able to get rid of completely.
What's up? It's future me editing this video. I'm putting this in here because I forgot to put Nicki Minaj on this tier list, and the only reason why I forgot was because the website that I'm using to make the tier list, it didn't upload the photo for some reason. I'm guessing it's the wrong format. For Nicki Minaj, though, she's just been kind of selfish. She's been hating on Megan Thee Stallion for literally no reason other than she made a song with Cardi B, which, like, boo-hoo, she made a song with your op, who cares? But as for her, Megan just put out a really good diss track towards Nicki, and Nicki wasn't able to recover it after Megan dropped the track. Nicki was on Instagram Live going, fragment foot bitch, seeming like she's in like a coke-induced rage, trying to get a track out as quickly as possible.
Bullet fragment foot bitch. Bullet fragment bitch. She a bullet fragment bitch. Now listen here, ho. Get up on your good foot. Bitch, I said get up on your good foot, not your bad foot. Fuck was that, a diss or piss? Said it was hiss, I said piss. My fans called it piss. Yo nigga, bitch.
And then Nicki released Bigfoot, which wasn't a good song at all. And then Nicki went on tour, and watching some of the tour footage, I'm kind of glad that I didn't go to see her live, because most of the time, she's not even singing / rapping most of the time. She's just sort of like dancing and standing there, which, like, I came to hear you sing and rap. Like, you're not doing anything to warrant me spending the amount that I would on concert tickets. And concert tickets are already expensive already. That's a whole other conversation for another day. If I did have Nicki Minaj on this list, I would probably put her in S tier because she did not have a really good year. She became really nasty. And in her diss track towards Megan, she tried accusing her of getting with minors. Meanwhile, her husband has been accused of sexual assault and has paid the victims of her husband to stay silent. So, already not looking good. So, I feel perfectly fine putting her up in S tier.
Next up we have Jay-Z. No words. We can put him right here in rotten jail. Seriously, like fuck you. I hope you go to jail with P Diddy. I hope you go to jail with P Diddy and you both rot there completely. Ooh, we have Haley Bailey, another influencer and another exception to the Israel versus Palestine rule because this bitch literally went to the Met Gala. Oscar. Sorry if you hear my dog, by the way. He's just, well, not my dog, my boyfriend's dog, but he wants to participate and be loud and be annoying. So if you hear him like yawn and pant, that's him. Anyways, Haley Bailey, A tier. This bitch literally went to the Met Gala and recorded a TikTok being like, let them eat cake at the peak of when things were so bad at Palestine, to the point where Blackout 2024 was a thing that existed where multiple people were blocking celebrities because of this conflict. Like, she ruined celebrities for everybody, and she probably is the reason why celebrity culture is now dead in 2024. Like, she fucked it for everybody. Like, she genuinely did, and I think it's the reason why people will not take influencers seriously anymore. Like, you probably won't see anyone like that at the Met Gala ever again, unless it's like an Addison Rae type who like flourished into like celebrity status because of Charlie XCX. Who, I love Addison Rae, no hate to her, but it's definitely hard to get into that position when you're somebody who grew on the internet. Next up, we have J Lo. I don't have a lot to say about her either. She definitely fell from grace too, but I think it's mainly because of her being inauthentic, talking about how she was a crazy little young girl running around through the streets of La Bronx and shit like that, and literally nobody from La Bronx recognized her as a kid. When she was making her ego movie about her life, nobody took her seriously either. In fact, I saw that movie and they used AI art in that film, which I find to be hilarious. And on top of that, with her tour being completely canceled, it just was not a good year for her. And I feel really bad for J-Lo because I love her. I like her music. I think she's a great actor. She's in one of my favorite horror films of all time, The Cell. But she's unfortunate. I don't think she'll be able to recover from this because I think a lot of people are just kind of tired of her, unfortunately. Um, A tier. All right, next up we have Justin Timberlake. Now, a little bit of backstory here. I met him once in the Hamptons where I used to live, and he was a complete asshole. He completely ignored me and didn't even say hello to me. So I was like my complete vision, not vision of him, but my complete view of him completely changed after that when I was younger. Because I'll say this: when I was 11, I thought some of his music was alright. I enjoyed it, but he is just an asshole. Like, and I honestly don't feel bad he got a DUI. And a lot of people are starting to realize that he's not really that great of a musician either, because just like Elvis Presley, he stole from a lot of black artists who didn't get the credit that they deserved back then. And also, I think he's secretly gay. Just saying. However, do I think his career is completely ruined? I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Like, he's sort of stuck between A and B for me. Uh, Oscar. I'm gonna put him in A. I feel safe putting him there. I don't think he'll have a redemption arc at some point. And I don't think he'll ever go on tour again because I don't know people who are super excited to go see him on tour. Last year I saw more people excited to see Panic at the Disco live than Justin Timberlake, and that's really saying something, especially since Brendan Urie doesn't even want to do music anymore. That really says something. Ooh, we have Katy Perry, someone who I definitely think deserves a bit of a downfall. For a little bit of context, when the whole situation between Dr. Luke and Kesha was happening, Katy Perry was sort of used as an example in this court, not in the court case, but she was public about it, saying she doesn't want to work with either Dr. Luke or Kesha because she doesn't want to pick sides, which, depending on the type of person you are, you could either agree or disagree with. However, after she did that, she released a couple of albums that just did not do financially well at all. And then at some point this year, she decided to randomly work with Dr. Luke again, which I find to be absolutely crazy, especially since the first single that she released on her new album this year was an album called Women's World, which was supposed to be like some female empowerment song. as she's working with somebody that has sexual abuse allegations against them. On top of that, there's been a bunch of other crap, like her doing a music video in Italy, and she didn't have the right permits to film at the specific location, so she probably endangered like some wildlife doing, well, she potentially endangered some wildlife. On top of that, I also saw her Video Vanguard performance at the MTV Music Awards, and people were booing her in the audience. Like, I remember hearing people boo her because they were not happy with her at all. Yeah, she definitely had the biggest flop this year. I think I'm going to put her in S tier because I don't think she'll be able to recover, and this is probably like the worst album rollout she's had, and that's really saying something after she released Smile. And that's a shame because Katy Perry used to be one of the biggest artists of the early 2000s. She has over 9 music videos that have over a billion views. That is crazy for any artist whatsoever. But I feel like even if this controversy didn't happen, she's a product of her time. Like, I don't think if she was doing the stuff that she did during like the Prism and the Teenage Dream era, it would not successfully work in this year. And that's why we also have like celebrities like Chapel Rome who sort of fill that pop star space that we've been looking for. So I have no problem putting her up there with Dan Schneider because I feel like she completely ruined her career this year. Like she can't recover. And a bit of irony to this whole situation, Kesha released a single called Joyride, and everyone is obsessed with that song. Like she didn't even work with Dr. Luke on that song, and that ended up being one of the most popular pop songs of this year. So I don't really feel bad for Katy Perry, honestly, and this is coming from somebody that used to be a fan of her. Right, we have Mr. Beast next. I didn't know what Mr. Beast did, so I'm gonna look it up really quickly because I don't know what he got in trouble for, but let's take a look. Alright, so what I'm getting from this is there were some people on his show that had some allegations against him that some people were sexually inappropriate with them. There was also the whole Ava Thompson situation where she got caught sending inappropriate photos to a minor. Yeah, it honestly just seems like allegations that I don't know if they're going to go anywhere or not, and I don't know if he necessarily had a fall off completely. Let's check his YouTube channel. Mr. Beast. Yeah, so his last video 2 weeks ago has over 155 million views. I don't know if I would necessarily call that a fall off, but it definitely, like, these allegations are definitely severe, and it definitely has left a stain on his career. I didn't know about all of this. The only thing I ever knew though was like the things related to like Lunchly and his Bitcoin scam. But if he's still making tons of like content on YouTube and he has an Amazon show coming out, um did he really fall off? Like, yeah, in the eyes of adults, he's not going to look as fondly they're not going to look as fondly on him, but when it comes to like his kid audience, I don't think he necessarily had like a huge fall off. So it's sort of like this gray in between area. um I'm going to put him in B tier though. I feel like there are negatives that outweigh, like, it's sort of, I don't want to say there's negatives that outweigh the positives, but it's sort of like in this weird in between area where the kids aren't going to care, but the adults are definitely going to scrutinize him and probably tell their children not to watch his content because of this shit. So I feel fine putting him in B tier next to Ice Spice and Jojo Siwa. Next up, we have Camila Cabello. I only put her on this list because she had a really bad album rollout, and a lot of people didn't look fondly upon it. I'll put her in D tier because like it definitely didn't ruin her career, but a lot of people looked at this newest album and were like, "Girl, what the hell are you trying to do?" You know, like people weren't amazed by what she did, so I put her in D tier. I feel like that's fine. I don't really have a problem with that. Oh, this one hurts the most. Francis Ford Coppola. So this one involves a little bit of an explanation. Francis Ford Coppola is a very, very famous director. He made a lot of classic films like The Godfather and a bunch of other things. Like, hold on, let me look it up really quick. Yeah, so we're talking about like the director who made Apocalypse Now, The Godfather. I think he also made Interview with the Vampire and a bunch of other films. And over the course of his career, there's been a film that he has been working on for over 40 years called Megalopolis. Megalopolis is something that it's like his biggest dream, his vision, that he absolutely like this is his dream film that he wanted to make. And there's been a lot of like notoriety around. Fuck off, Mufasa. There's been a lot of notoriety. No, oh my god, I can't fucking speak. There's been a lot of notoriety around this film, essentially being like it's his longest film that he's ever made. And essentially, he's been in interviews talking about like how after Apocalypse Now and Godfather, all his films were cash grabs, and he was trying to save up as much money as possible in order to make this film. However, he did stop making films because he was running out of money, and also it just wasn't bringing in enough profit. So he made like his own brand of wine to make more money, and then he ended up selling his entire like winery for like $140 million. He gave away all of his money to make this movie, and it was a financial bomb. Like I don't know if there's box office numbers here. Hold on. Domestic opening only $4 million. And how much did it cost to make? So Megalopolis, I shouldn't be using the AI results, but it takes results from the internet, so I don't really care. Megalopolis had a production of over $120 million and only made 11 million. So this was a huge financial flop for him. He lost all his money making this film, but this was like his dream movie that he wanted to create. And just seeing him like fall from grace this far is kind of depressing. I feel really bad for this man, and he will probably never financially recover from this, but like he was able to achieve his dream. It's just like unfortunately not a lot of people resonated with it. So I am going to put him with Ice Spice and Mr. Beast. Like a lot of people probably don't hate him because of this film, but he definitely ruined himself making this movie, and I feel bad for him, unfortunately. Next up we have Cody Ko. You can go to jail. Yeah, you can go rot in jail. And then the whole funny thing about him is that after all of those allegations, he didn't address them right away. He did a DJ set in Las Vegas, which I just find to be really funny. What is it, Oscar? Stop. Look at him. He is such a baby. You need to stop it. You're being naughty. He just whines for attention because he's a little attention baby. Look, look at him. Oh my goodness. You my little godson. Alright, next celebrity we have is probably the last example we have when it comes to the whole Israel-Palestine situation, and that is, I forget his name. I have to look him up, actually. oh, I, no, not, Sacha Baron Cohen. The reason why I put him on his list is because not only is he a Zionist, but looking at the context of films like Borat and The Dictator, this dude is genuinely just the biggest fucking racist. I feel like a lot of people, when they were looking at celebrities who genuinely deserve to be canceled because of this whole conflict, Sacha Baron Cohen is the one that should not have a redemption arc. Like, he made a whole film just being racist. Not just one film, two films where he's just racist the entire time. And with films like that, it makes me think like, okay, if you made Borat and The Dictator and that's how you view people from the Middle East, what do you think about gay people since you made the film Bruno? You know, like he definitely is not I don't want to say he's woke, but he's definitely probably the most bigoted man in Hollywood when it comes to his comedic material, and I don't think people are ever going to look fondly towards him. You know, obviously there are going to be the same like douchebag men that think peak comedy is Step Brothers with Will Ferrell. So he's definitely still has fans like that are going to worship him, but he definitely has fallen from grace. I'm gonna put him in A. No, I'm gonna put him in B tier. Because if we're gonna compare him to like Ethan Klein and Haley Bailey, it's definitely not the worst, but he's definitely like a piece of shit. Like, fuck Sacha Baron Cohen. I do not have respect for him, and I never found Borat funny. Like, I never found it funny. I never thought it was funny. I think the only scene that I thought was funny in the first Borat movie was when he went up to like a US politician giving him like cheese, and he says, "The cheese, I make it from my wife's tit." That's about it. That was like the only funny scene in that film. Everything else was just garbage about his movies. Not even Bruno was funny. I'm a gay man, and I did not think Bruno was funny. That movie probably just exists to make homophobes laugh, if I'm being perfectly honest. Next up, we got Russell Crowe. You can go to jail. Sexual assault allegations, go to jail. And what I find really disrespectful about Russell Crowe is that he has a huge female audience, and I genuinely believe that he is taking advantage of the people that admire him, and like uses that to get sexual to get like what's the word to like take advantage of them. And I know this because my mother, who's like a health guru, who likes to do alternative medicine and also wants to like meditate and be at peace, she likes Russell. Is it Russell Crowe or Russell? I don't even know. Is it Russell Crowe or Russell Brand? I gotta look him up. Oh, okay, it's Russell Brand. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because too many Russells. Yeah. I have no problem putting in here. Fuck Russell Brand. He's a piece of shit. Who's Russell Crowe though? Because I'm mixing him up with that person. Oh, okay. He was in Les Miserables, wasn't he? That's what I saw him in, at least. Yeah. Okay. Russell Brand. Rotten jail, bitch. Fuck you. Next up, we have Kanye West. I mean, do I really even need to say anything? Um, yeah, I'm just gonna put him in S tier. Like, he has just been ruining his career every time he opens up his fucking mouth. He's the biggest piece of shit in the rap industry. Also, like, the last thing I heard about him is that he's making AI music videos with his fucking daughter in it. Yeah, no, I have no problem putting him in S tier. He's never going to recover as an artist. Obviously, he has his loyal fans that are going to be like, Graduation is the best album ever. I don't really give a damn. He can sit in S tier with Katy Perry and Dan Schneider. Who is this? Oh, wait, that's Blake Lively. Okay, Blake Lively has been revealed to be like the biggest piece of shit this year. She was casted in a movie about domestic abuse, and she never addressed what the film was actually about. She like kept trying to hide the fact that domestic abuse was a major topic about the film that she was starring in, and then after everything that happened, she started making everyone involved with the film start to hate the director, who is a male. But keep in mind that the male director is the only one that was open about the themes of domestic abuse and talking about like what people who are victims of should do in these situations. But Blake Lively would never open her mouth about it, especially since there are also like interview clips of her just being rude as fuck to interviewers and just being an absolute piece of shit and being super passive aggressive. She's just like the most fakest person on this list, probably, in my opinion. And she's also the type of girl that I feel like would use feminism to like completely hide criticism from her, being like, "Oh, you hate me because I'm a woman. No, we hate you because you're a piece of shit." So, I'm gonna put you in S tier. Fuck you, Blake Lively. Next up, we have Emily Armstrong. In case you don't know who Emily Armstrong is, she is now the lead singer of Linkin Park. And a lot of you might be thinking, oh, that's probably not so bad, until you realize that Chester, the lead singer, killed himself because of mental health issues. And you're probably thinking, okay, that's probably not like the craziest thing. Like, Linkin Park probably wants to make more money. Well, that's until you realize that Emily Armstrong is a Scientologist, which is a cult religion that does not take mental health seriously at all, especially since Chester, the lead singer of Linkin Park, has been super open about hating Scientology and how they are not a good organization. So, like, her joining the band has definitely like made a lot of fans of Linkin Park hurt, especially me. But like, here's the thing: I would go see Linkin Park live still to this day, even though she is the lead singer, because I've never seen them live before, and she genuinely, in my opinion, does a good job filling that role for Linkin Park. Like, she does a good job as the vocalist, and I have no problem with her skill when it comes to achieving that singing ability. I actually go back and forth with my coworker about this. We always talk about like, yeah, she's a piece of shit with Scientology, but man, she does a really good job filling the role for Linkin Park. Like, that's what sucks about her. Like, she does a good job, but she's also just like, the whole situation with her being the lead singer, it's just a mess. It's genuinely a mess. And we also don't know if she's completely distanced herself from Scientology. If she made a statement one day saying, hey guys, I'm no longer a part of Scientology, I probably wouldn't have put her on this list. But the fact that she hasn't at least opened up about that and said that she's not a part of the religion, it just genuinely like leaves a bad taste in a lot of fans who originally loved Linkin Park back in the day. But like I said before, she also does a good job filling that role in. So I'm gonna put her in with Beyonce. I know this is probably like the hottest take on this fucking chart, but like I said before, Linkin Park is selling out shows all across the world. And no one has really like batted an eye towards these allegations, but they definitely have like hurt not just her career, but also Linkin Park's career. All right, next up we have Zach Bryan. I know he cheated, but I need to look up what the actual allegations are. All right, so what I'm getting from this is he basically cheated on his girlfriend, and he was also emotionally abusive towards her. Um, that's as far as I can get with the allegation. Like, there's not really a lot to say about him. He cheated on his girlfriend and was a piece of shit to her. Unfortunately, though, Zach Bryan is in the country music scene, so he could probably just make a claim on social media, being like, "I I prayed my sins away and I prayed to God and my sins went away," or whatever the fuck, and all his fans, excuse me, will probably forgive him because of this. I could give less of a shit about Zach Bryan. So you know what? I'll put him here with Emily Armstrong and Beyonce. Next up is OJ Simpson. I put this on here as a joke, honestly, because he fell so far from grace, he died. S tier. I have no problem putting him up there. He literally murdered his wife. Allegedly, he murdered his wife. So he can sit at S tier. I really don't give a damn. And lastly, but definitely not least, our last influencer, Colleen Ballinger. What could I say about her? Genuinely, what could I say that hasn't been said? She's genuinely the biggest. She's definitely had the biggest controversy in terms of like influencer status. She had the worst apology video, and she got caught grooming minors. Like, you can't recover from all the things that she did. She genuinely, like, she'll never be able to recover. She'll never be able to do Miranda Sings again. I don't think she'll ever be able to do like YouTube successfully again. In fact, let's take a quick gander at what she's doing now. She uploaded 17 hours ago. How do you just like have grooming allegations against you and then you just continue making vlog content? Also, I'm hoping these are your kids. I'm hoping these are your kids in the thumbnail. Like, I don't know anything about your life. I'm hoping those are your kids and you're not just taking random kids to go see the Nutcracker. Um, I'm gonna put her in S tier though. I feel safe putting that in. So yeah, these are the celebrity slash influencer downfall tier lists officially made by me, Gutterheaux. We have the Rotten Jail category with P. Diddy, Jay-Z, Cody Ko, and Russell Brand. We have S tier with Dan Schneider, Katy Perry, Kanye West, Blake Lively, O.J. Simpson, Colleen Ballinger. A tier we have Drake, Ethan Klein, Haley Bailey, J Lo, and Justin Timberlake. B tier, which is like the medium sort of range where people could possibly recover, but they are definitely ruined because of this year. We have Jojo Siwa, Ice Spice, Mr. Beast, Francis Ford Coppola, and Sacha Baron Cohen. C tier, we have Beyonce, Emily Armstrong, and Zach Bryan. Actually, I'm gonna move Beyonce down because like I said, I put her on here as a joke, but you know what? She didn't have like the worst year ever. And looking at Emily Armstrong and Zach Bryan, she definitely didn't have a controversy that was worse than these two. And then for the bottom, we have Camila Cabello and Beyonce. I feel safe with this tier list. I don't really have any other opinions about this. I feel perfectly fine where all these celebrities are ranked. If you have any opinions about who else should have been on this list, or if you would have moved somebody else somewhere else, let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. And that's about it. I don't really have anything else to say about this. Fuck all these people. Well, not fuck all of them. Like, I feel bad for Francis Ford Coppola, but pretty much everyone else on this list, fuck them. I don't really care. And yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this video. I'll probably do more short form content like this because TikTok is ending and I don't really have any other way of sharing my thoughts like this. So, hope y'all enjoyed. Peace out.